We don't care whether it's Mkhwanazi or not. Mkhwanazi has given us issues. We are dealing with those issues. He must stop being sensitive that everyone who doesn't speak good about him, that person becomes the enemy. If he's a true policeman, let him remain true policeman and allow Madlanga and the ad hoc committee to deal with what he has raised. He must never think he can blackmail or threaten anyone. We are not scared of policemen. A man goes to Madlanga Commission. They say, yeah, it's a list of 7 companies of security. They say this list come from EFF. Please check with the CFO to check with the CIC whether this is a list of the EFF. They never said the CIC gave them a list. They never said the CIC confirmed the list. Bachochia mushimanola watsotsana kwa ikuruleni. Action SA singwanana. Asetsebe selo ka politiki nothing. Or ulwancha di drugs. Ewe. Vigilantism is not politics. A vigilante from Ikuruleni that takes law into its own hands and does not respect the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. You say this person can be a mayor who has got no clue about how budgets work, how municipality work. He just enjoys limelight of pretending to be fighting drugs. And you say this can be a candidate. He accepts to be a candidate. When they interview him after accepting to be a candidate mayor, he's got no idea what they are talking about. Comrades, leadership in the EFF today is not about titles and positions, but it is measured by the value you add to the lives of our people and to the growth of the organization. It is for this reason that we want to say to the people of South Africa that leaders of the EFF are not found in offices. They are found in your township. They are found in your villages. And we ask the people of South Africa to open their hearts and their homes to the volunteers of the EFF because they are there to help. If you are looking for the EFF, you do not need to find Julius Malema because your next door neighbor who's wearing a red t-shirt is your Julius Malema. People of South Africa, if you do not have water, if you do not have electricity, if you are being treated unfairly at your workplace, you do not need to come to Winnie Madikizela Mandela House. Go to your nearest EFF volunteer because they know that it is their duty to fight battles and carry a struggle on your behalf. The leaders of South Africa today, until election day, are volunteers of the EFF. It is volunteers of the EFF who will guide us on where to remove illegal dumping sites, on which families to assist with basic needs, and which communities require basic services. An EFF volunteer must be proud to be a servant of both the people and the organization. A volunteer of the EFF must be an upright and disciplined soldier who is respected in the community, who does not abuse alcohol and substances, and is readily available whenever community members need help. I therefore declare you, all fighters and the people of South Africa, that from today onwards, every day belongs to the volunteers of the EFF. The volunteers are the commissars of the streets of South Africa, and they will deliver total victory of the EFF in the 2026 local government elections. And that victory begins with voter registration. I am here as your volunteer in chief, who will also be working the ground, because I will never expect you to do something that I will not do myself. I will lead from the front and fight battles for the victory of the EFF. Leadership of the EFF and the membership of the EFF and the people of South Africa. On behalf of the Malema family, I want to send our sincere gratitude and thank you for your well wishes during these difficult times in our family. We know that with you on our side, we will survive this. It is not for the first time, it will not be for the last time, but we know that we've got a bigger family, and that family is called the EFF. We want to thank President Zuma and the MKP for coming to our home and sending condolences. It is only African to do so. It has got nothing to do with political agreements or not. We belong to different political parties. We will never come together. But when death occurs, we will always come together and show respect for each other, because it is for the love of Africans. It must be understood in that context that our visit to other political parties, families, it is because we are Africans, and we are told that during difficult times we must always show the highest form of Ubuntu, and we saw that yesterday with President Zuma. We are not ashamed of his visit. We are happy that he became an elder and came to comfort us. And we say to Msholozi, let it not be in the Malema family only. Even other families who experience what we are experiencing today, continue to show support, because you are a good, kind old man. Fighters and people of South Africa, the democratic project which started in 1994 has completely failed. The ANC has collapsed it. When our grannies were queuing to vote on the 27th of April 1994, some of them carrying chickens, thinking that Mandela will come to their voting stations so that they can hand over those chickens to thank him for their freedom. They thought that freedom will mean access to quality education. They thought that freedom will mean water and electricity. They thought that freedom will mean free housing and health care. They thought that freedom will mean that their children are going to get jobs and their lives are going to be improved. But today, we are in a situation which is worse than what we had before 1994. We are not saying before 1994 was better. It was worse. But this we are experiencing is worse of worse under the people we thought will bring us joy and happiness in our lifetime. Comrades, it is painful when the wrong things are done to you by a person you know, unlike when they are done to you by people you don't know. These ANC people, we know them. They are our neighbors. We grew up with them. We voted for them. They turned their back on us. That's what makes it worse, because we pinned our hopes on criminals and thugs who stole our future and destroyed the careers of young people. So Robert Sobukwe, who led the anti-pass campaign on this day in 1960, must be turning in his grave, because he too thought that 1994 will usher in the land to our people. Today, our people are still landless. Today is not a human rights day. Today is a Sharpeville day. Today it's a Langa day. They will never call it Sharpeville day. They will never call it Langa day, because they know by doing that they will be recognizing the struggles that were led by Sobukwe, who confronted the white regime, and a lot of people died on that day, and the immediate reaction of the ANC was to denounce Sharpeville Day. They can never claim this day. It belongs to Sibukwe. It belongs to the PAC. It belongs to the people of South Africa, not to the thugs that are occupying offices in the Union Building. Fighters, those who died in Sharpeville, they should be turning in their graves because today Sharpeville is a forgotten area. It has turned into a dumping site. Sewer is running on the streets. Where there is so-called tar roads, the potholes are the size of a swimming pool. Every corner there is an illegal dumping, and the municipality is dysfunctional. But we must not give up on the future because these criminals have sold us out. Fellow fighters, we must make sure that young people register to vote. Why? Because it is only young people who will vote the DA and the ANC out of power. That's why the ANC and the DA and all of them have got no campaign on voter registration because they don't want young people to register. They want an old voter register because they want to continue winning with old people who are in the voters' roll. We want a new voters' roll, and that voters' roll must be constituted by young people. Fellow fighters, out of 9 million people aged between 18 to 29, only 4.4 million were registered to vote in the 2024 national and provincial elections. That cannot be correct. We must make sure that those who are 17 from today are all going to be registered as long as they are going to turn 18 just before November so that they can remove this rotten government from power. Comrades, it's only the EFF that touches lives of people in a practical way. If you don't know, you must go and ask cleaners who were insourced in Ekurhuleni. You must ask those security guards in Tshwane, in Nelson Mandela, in Johannesburg, that their lives have changed because of the motions that were put forward by the EFF. Today, your father, who's a security guard insourced in Johannesburg, they've got a medical aid, they've got a pension fund. When they return back to the village, they will be able to show that for all those years they've been working. Thanks to the EFF, because the insourcing became fashionable when the EFF entered the councils everywhere in South Africa. The topic of insourcing became the real topic. We are going to insource all of them and make sure there is no private security. There is municipal security with benefits. There is a municipal cleaner with benefits. And we cancel security tenders and we cancel cleaning tenders and redirect the money into the pockets of the poor, of the poorest, and improve their living conditions. Comrades, many of you who are young here, you are beneficiaries of Sizofunda Ngenkani. It was the EFF that registered more than 500,000 students since this campaign started for free in the universities and in the TVETs colleges. That's why EFF wins elections in the TVETs and universities, because it touches lives of young people practically and makes sure that they are registered. When the EFF leads this government, there will not be a registration fee and there will not be any requirement to pay the fees. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, you are going to get free education. Why? You are born with it. It is your right. A right is not given to you by a politician when you say, this is my right, you are born with it. It doesn't have to be in the constitution. It is in your birth that education must be given to you free of charge from the day you were born. When your mother teaches you to suck the breast from the minute you are born, that is education. And that is not in the constitution. It is a right that you are born with it. And no politician must pretend that they are the ones who are giving you those rights. Those are God-given rights. And no human being must be allowed to take those rights away from you. Comrades, in Matatiele, you must go and ask those people of Matatiele. Their debt were cancelled. Their municipal debts, the poor of the poorest, their debt were cancelled because the EFF put a motion in the council and said, let's cancel all the debt of poor people who are paying for the services in the municipality. You doubt what we are saying? Go to Matatiele. The good thing about Matatiele is that they speak 3 languages, if not 4. Or 5 even. Xhosa, Zulu, Sotho, English, Afrikaans. So you won't be stuck. You can ask them in your language. Hey, paliphumuleti mutagasi. Skoloto sela sa mutagasi ba siphumuchi. Resphumuchi ka Matatiele. The same motion. Let's cancel the debt of the poor in Ekurhuleni. The ANC objected to that motion. Action SA objected to that motion. The DA objected to that motion. All of them came together to vote against the poor. And the poor in Ekurhuleni must go and teach them a lesson when we go to elections this year, possibly in November. Abatla go Tembisa, but vonyo door to door. Bopanyaza, level doctor, I see Doctor Gilina. Gotta get a doctor Lana Rurute, Awa, Gilina. Mayara, Waikule. Ebata Tembisa badia door to door. Leba bujore, kamo, le kaseno fitela lebu wale account. Yaw zero. Kamukola li opposition kwa cancel. Zaman loy lukisha pili. After fixing it, come back and talk to me. How do you object that my account must be written 0 when you have not given me a job, when you have not given my children a job, when you know that we are swimming in a pool of poverty? How do you charge the poor of the poorest and not give them free electricity and water? Comrades, you must go to Eguphumleni old age home in Nelson Mandela Metro municipality. I went to that old age home when we're celebrating 10th anniversary of the EFF, and we're going to renovate and give the Gogos support. When I arrived there, I found more than what I bargained for, because they said, we appreciate what you are giving us, but we are owing a municipality 3.3 million, and they are threatening to switch off. How can we owe 3.3 million when we are all pensioners here? Where will we get the money? I said to those Gogos, we are going to fight, and I'm going to lead that fight in Nelson Mandela municipality to make sure that that 3.3 million is cancelled. I'm happy to announce that the municipality has taken a decision to cancel that 3.3 million in Eguphumleni. So please, when you go to PE and you're going to swim, just make a turn in that old age home and ask if Malema is telling the truth. Was Malema ever here? Did you say you owe 3.3 million? Have they cancelled that 3.3 million? Because everywhere where the EFF participate, we touch the lives of our people practically. We don't speak theory. Comrades, let's make sure that all of this work is continued everywhere. In Parliament, today, hello Rega go Spa, come on next door, le ShopRite. Evelo rehele lebella receipt, la krea 17% VAT. If the EFF did not fight that thing, this year it was going to be 17% VAT. Rai Luancha, Rai Wina Koto, today VAT is still 15%. Because we don't play, we don't just talk. We take action. We make no promises. We make commitments so that we can follow up on those commitments. It was this leader of the Youth Command who led the charge, which was started by our spokesperson, Snao, that data must never expire. It is illegal. Why do you take it away from me? If I buy in Incomas and it has got an expiry date and it expires, you can't come and take it from my fridge and say this Incomas has expired. As a ShopRite, we are taking it out of your fridge. But they say my data has expired. Inside my phone, they come and take it. Leave it in my phone. I will decide what to do with it. It's my data. It's not your data. I paid for it. I decide what happens to it. Nobody must decide over that. Today, we started this campaign. Today, ICASA says data must never expire. It is unconstitutional. We don't just want a rhetoric. That announcement has been made. We want that announcement to be implemented with immediate effect. We are calling on Vodacom. Don't wait for the government. You all now know that what you are doing is unconstitutional. Just stop taking our data and remove the expiry on the data. We are saying to MTN, remove the expiry on the data. I don't know if CLC is still there. No data must expire. Telkom data must never expire. If you don't do that, we'll come and make your stores expire because you are stealing from us. We will close MTN stores. We'll close Vodacom stores. Will close Telkom stores because they are stealing from us. They must stop from stealing from us. Otherwise, we are coming for them. They must stop taking our data. Fighters, this comrade, Lonzi, was standing here, fought in the committee when the Minister of Higher Education wanted to bring corrupt CETA boards. He fought, and that minister lied and lied until she was exposed. That minister resigned and those boards were dissolved. We stopped corruption in the CETA leading from the front. It was not the ANC, it was the EFF. That's why we made a corrupt minister to resign. The ANC takes that corrupt minister and make her deputy chief whip in parliament because they love them corrupt. That's why they can't do away with that corrupt minister. But we fired that minister from the Department of Higher Education. Comrades, the people of Midrand did not have water. That's where the ANC is leading with the MMC. No water in Midrand. No water in Johannesburg. including in the biggest suburbs of Sandton, no water. But next door, Ekurhuleni, there was no problem of water. You know why? The MMC of water in Ekurhuleni was the EFF MMC. When Johannesburg was experiencing crisis, it did not happen in Ekurhuleni. So fighters, we are going to make sure that we fix the water leakages, water infrastructure, make sure that our people get reliable, clean water, including the people of Hammanskraal, because they too deserve clean water. Comrades, Hillbrow and Bryanston do not know peace today. If there is a hijacked building, the MMC of the EFF goes into those buildings, remove illegal occupants, and that is not enough. When we take power, we are going to remove them from those buildings and renovate those buildings and give them to our people as houses next to where they work and create student accommodation, because a lot of buildings here in Johannesburg were abandoned and some people have hijacked them, and in their majority are foreigners who are running illegal operations in those buildings. We will take those buildings and make sure that we renovate them and give them back to our people. And who are our people? The black South Africans who must benefit from the reliable buildings that are safe and they can provide home for all of you. For sure, when Ramaphosa was in Parliament some few days ago, he agreed with me that we must open clinics 24 hours. I asked him, I said, why do you close clinics for gogos? Why are you not opening for 24 hours? I actually agree with what you are saying. But that fight was led by the MMC of Health here in Johannesburg, made sure that there is exemplary clinic that opens 24 hours and service our people. As a result, today Ramaphosa is agreeing. We got 2 concessions from Ramaphosa when he came to Parliament last week. He agreed on insourcing, he agreed on 24-hour clinics. Maragerle abatsiba abatshepahale. Bano bolela ka molomo ka nkotse di kholo mara o kore batho ba ona ba bolela ba ya kae. Mara Parliamente record yo bontsha gore Ramaphosa agreed that clinics must be opened 24 hours. Insourcing must happen in all government departments. What does it mean? The EFF has put a bill before Parliament that we must insource all workers who are working in government properties and buildings everywhere. Once Ramaphosa says, I agree with insourcing, it means the ANC agrees with insourcing. It means MKP agrees with insourcing. The EFF agrees with insourcing. When we are brought together, our numbers can pass that bill into an act, and we make sure that it is by law that we insource the people of South Africa. Now, the DA brings you some old magogo, and I suspect it's not a fact. Maragnana Helen Zille, Kamukhwacho fetching, the way she's too old, she's got false teeth. She's too old. Little leader ke le khuwa la o tlhoka meno la o palelwa ko Cape Town o ba re batho ba rena ke di immigrants ha ba tswa Eastern Cape ba ya Cape Town a ba roa yena o tloga Cape Town, o tloga Johannesburg. What must we call her? This is not a city. We must reject her. Whether she's white or not, we don't support the candidature of Helen Zille. Rena, we are not our mothers and our fathers. We are not our grandmothers and our grandfathers. Baba Guchimbari. Setare sa Mosotho ke lekgowa. Rena, setare sa rena a se lekgowa. Setare sa rena ke economic freedom in our lifetime is the future that is in the hands of the youth of South Africa. Why do you take Helen Zille, who failed dismally? Go to Khayelitsha, go to Langa, and go and see what's happening there. Go to the Cape Flats and go and see the level of crime. He says he's going to bring that guy who's a white person there to come and fight crime here in Johannesburg. But crime is worse in Cape Town where they were leading. How can they fail in Cape Town and think they can come and work here? Comrades, Vukadaki, you must wake up and stop being misled by white people. Because Helen is white, you think all of a sudden she will do good things. She was supposed to do good things in Cape Town. She failed. You know what is their solution now? They want to build a wall on the freeway so that when you leave the airport into Cape Town, you don't see those shacks of our townships. And how much is the wall? Millions and millions, if not billions. But they can take that money off the wall and go and build proper houses, give our people water, give our people electricity. They will never do it because they are not about helping a black person. Helen Zille, she goes to Soweto. When we go to the stadiums to enjoy a beautiful game of Orlando Pirates and Chiefs, where Orlando Pirates did the things, Helen Zille goes to Soweto. She goes into a Shebeen and then she raises a dumpy of Heineken, and she thinks by that you will think she's part of you, because in her mind you are drunkards who support Orlando Pirates, and she must pretend like it's you. She's like you. She's not like you. What Helen did in that Shebeen was not supporting Orlando Pirates or Shebeen. It was a pure racism. But stereotype. Or black people, when they celebrate, they carry a beer. So I must carry a beer so that they think I'm part of them. We reject Helen with a beer. We are not beer people. We are the people of the future. And there's no future that is going to be delivered by Heineken, by Castle, by Hunter, by any whiskey. The future is going to be delivered by economic freedom fighters. Comrades, I promised SG that I will not speak for long, because when you are in bereavement, you are not supposed to speak anywhere. But because the people of Cape Flats and Mitchell's Plain are suffering, I have to stand up and raise their voice and raise their issues, even when I've got my own personal issues at home. But I've got a duty to make sure that we expose a lie and protect our people from the thuggery of Helen Zille that happened in Cape Town. Fighters, Helen Zille organized a manifesto launch. It was in a hall here, Johannesburg Hall. She will never come into an open field like this here in Johannesburg, because the people of Johannesburg have already rejected us, rejected her. That's why she went into a smaller hall. and say she's launching manifesto and all of that. But what kind of a political culture is that one? Where people say, this is your mayor, before they speak about what they are going to do for you. You must launch a manifesto first and say the best person who can implement this manifesto is this one. You don't start with personalities. We are not in beauty contest here. We are about what are you going to do for us. Before you tell us who is beautiful, who is not beautiful, what are you going to do for us? They all are putting mayoral candidates before the manifesto. And they want us to do the same. We will not do the same. We are going to present a manifesto first, and then we'll deal with the issues of the mayors and councillors after the manifesto of the EFF. So that when you say, I am available to be a councillor, you must be knowing what is expected from you, because you would have read the manifesto and you say, I think I can do this thing. Because you are going to accept. Then the manifesto comes after. You realize this is not for me. So we don't have to cheat our people. We must make sure that our people are given the correct politics in South Africa. We cannot be led by Helen Zille. We cannot be led by Action SA, who launches mayoral candidates and they expect all of us to follow them. And the reactionary media is also expecting us to follow Helen Zille and the DA and Action SA. We will never do that. We can never be led by the DA. We will never be led by Action SA. Bachocha mushimanola watsotsana kwa ikuruleni. Action SA singwanana. Asetsebe selo ka politiki nothing. Or ulwanta di drugs. Hey when vigilantism is not politics. A vigilante from Ikuruleni that takes law into its own hands and does not respect the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. You say this person can be a mayor who has got no clue about how budgets work, how municipality work. He just enjoys limelight of pretending to be fighting drugs. And you say this can be a candidate. He accepts to be a candidate. When they interview him after accepting to be a candidate mayor, he's got no idea what they are talking about. So we will not do that to you. We are going to make sure that you, comrades, you know what is expected from you before you accept to be a mayor, before you accept to be a councillor. Comrades, EFF councillors are going to come from communities. So stop lobbying us. There is no leader who's going to appoint a candidate for a councillor in all the wards. You are going to choose your own candidates in your own wards. And you must make sure you choose community builders. Fighters, those people you are going to choose are going to be what candidate? We are not going to have a PR list. There is no PR list. It's a ward candidate. The ward candidate must win a ward. If you lose a ward, you must lose with the highest number so that you become the PR of the EFF. Either way you win. If you lose the ward but you get more numbers, you are number one on the list of the PR of the EFF. We are no longer going to reward factionalism, favoritism, family business arrangements. We want the people who work the ground. That's why we no longer have regions. Ausana we are rutlo tsena ka region. Hey, rena ke rena ba faction ya mo ushekoma. rena re ba faction ya Dunga na ro tsena o tla tsena kwa Dunga not ka mo EFF le di yena majana tšeo le dijele kwa Dunga go not mo o tlo tsentšha ke branch mo ha ona Dunga tlo tsentšha mo ha ona Mosha tlo tsentšha ha o sa regional chairperson ye tlo tsentšha tloela o theletša maaka. Go and work in your branch if you want to become a councillor of the EFF, and let the branch choose you to be a leader of that particular branch. To be a councillor, you must know the first task you have is to go and take a SASSA database and come and put it in the municipal database and remove all those people who are in the billing system of the municipality who appear on the SASSA list, because we don't want anyone who gets SASSA money to pay electricity. That is thuggery. That is crime. That must never be accepted. How do we give you money from this hand and come and take it from the other hand as government? Because national government and local government are one thing. They are government. That's what they are. And we must never be told that no, the money comes from national. No one from SASSA must pay for electricity. Comrades, you must go and register. Every high school, go to every high school, go and speak to all matriculants. Every matriculant who's not repeating or is there for the first time, that matriculant is either 17 or is turning 18. Those are the people that we must go and register, all of them. And when we register them, we must look them in the eyes and say, we are registering you because you are the future of South Africa. And the future of South Africa is economic freedom in our lifetime. That's the struggle we need to join. Comrades, let's go to Maka, la Kwakadi, ad hoc committee, Lebo Madanga Commission, ad hoc committee, Yao investigator, the allegation Jam Kwanas was sponsored by the EFF in Parliament. The ANC was rejecting the ad hoc committee. The DA was rejecting the ad hoc committee. We forced it on them and they had no choice. They were saying the allegations of Mkwanazi must go to the committee of police. We said nonsense, that committee has failed already. We need a special committee. That's why today you've got ad hoc committee. Fighters, don't be easily provoked. Latele Jamaka. Don't listen to lies. I'm saying to you here now, they want my blood everywhere. They will never have my blood because they never gave birth to me. I am not scared of all of them combined. They can bring their resources together. I defeated them before. I'm going to defeat them again, and I'll defeat them in the future. You, my children, and your children's children, we will defeat them because they use illegal means to fight political battles. A man goes to Madanga Commission. They say, yeah, it's a list of 7 companies of security. They say this list come from EFF. Please check with the CFO to check with the CIC whether this is a list of the EFF. They never said the CIC gave them a list. They never said the CIC confirmed the list. No one has ever come to me with any nonsensical list. But because my name is mentioned there and the EFF's name is mentioned there, dinkhonyana di betha mesela, di nagana hore di re kry-ile, di ka tsogile di re kry-ile. They will never find us. Mkhwanazi, we are not fanatics of Mkhwanazi. Right now we are not ball boys of Mkhwanazi or ball girls of Mkhwanazi. We stand with the truth. And if you plunder, we will tell you this is not right. We don't care whether it's Mkhwanazi or not. Mkhwanazi has given us issues. We are dealing with those issues. He must stop being sensitive that everyone who doesn't speak good about him, that person becomes the enemy. If he's a true policeman, let him remain true policeman and allow Madlanga and the ad hoc committee to deal with what he has raised. He must never think he can blackmail or threaten anyone. We are not scared of policemen. When we joined the struggle, we were taught not to be scared of a policeman. We have not done it when we were young. We are not going to do it when we are old. Mkhwanazi is fighting General Khan. And every time he fights General Khan, he drags the EFF name, he drags the CIC's name to fight General Khan. Let him fight Khan if they've got their own issues and leave the EFF out of their nonsense, because EFF is not part of any nonsense they are fighting about in the police. Again, Mkhwanazi goes to ad hoc committee. He says Suntumule told Begitele and General Masemola that he no longer needs their intervention because Sibiya said he spoke to CIC of EFF to go and speak to Mkhwanazi so that he can bring them together. Mkhwanazi never said, the CIC called me and said, let's come together with Sibiya. He says, someone said, Sibiya said. And then the question should have been, okay, did the CIC convene that meeting? I never convened any meeting. No Sibiya asked me to convene any meeting. And let me tell you, if Sibiya had asked me to call a meeting, I was going to call it because I am a leader of this country. And when two police generals are fighting and one of them says, I'm fighting with my colleague, I want you to mediate, I was going to do it. I did not hire Sibiya. They hired him. I respected him because he's a general that they have hired. But that meeting never took place. So don't be shaken by nonsense. He says, Mkhwanazi, he met me through General Khan, which is true. But he didn't meet me out of my own request. I went to KZN and I criticized Mkhwanazi and I said we love Mkhwanazi, but the AKA matter is not being successful. The typical Mkhwanazi called General Khan and said, I want to speak to this guy because he said, I'm not doing anything on AK's case. General Khan, who's well known to me, called a meeting and said, Mkhwanazi is asking to see me. I gave them a meeting in Zimbali in KZN. Out of Mkhwanazi's request, Mkhwanazi came to that meeting and told me that the people who killed AKA, they are in prison already, but they are arrested for something else. Soon they will be charged with AKA's matter. The whole information is there. They are ready. They are just waiting for one or two things. That's what Mkhwanazi tells me. So I say, but why are you not communicating that? Because we are all worried about AKA's murder. Mkhwanazi says, I cannot communicate this until I'm ready to pounce on these people. Because if I announce this, Begitele is going to interfere with this case and destroy the case. That's why I don't want to announce, but this is the progress. And true to what he said, it didn't take a week or so. Those people were now charged with AKA's murder. That's how Mkhwanazi met with me. But he says all of those things about General Khan, about all of that, when I'm not there at the ad hoc committee. When he came and I was there, he could not say that impression about me in my presence. So I've got no time for cowards. You want me, you talk that in front of my face and we engage each other. He must never create an impression that there is a corrupt relationship between me and Sibiya. I know Sibiya for nothing. Corrupt relationship between me and Khan. I've got no corrupt relationship with General Khan or anyone of that sort. I've got no tender in the police and anywhere. That's why they will never find me. Look for me and you will never catch me because I'm not part of the gangsters. When I called Sibiya, one of the cases I called Sibiya about was a case of Jerry Bushukha. The mother of Jerry Bushukha called me and said my child was kidnapped for too long. Police are not doing anything. I took my phone and I called General Sibiya. I said the mother is looking for a child. Please, let's make sure this matter is resolved. Why did I take a phone and call? It's my job as a public representative. When you bring complaints to me, I take them straight to the police where they belong. Any matter, bring it to me. I will deal with it because that is not corruption. I repeated that when we were in Kgoshima-Mpuru, when I was telling that criminal Matala that please talk to Jerry Bushukha's mother because she's looking for a son. So do not be scared. Do not be intimidated by those who think they can destroy us. These are small kids. They want to know us. They must go and ask Donald Trump who we are. Then they will know what they are dealing with. Agito dila le magogorwana. Ke dila le banna bo Donald Trump ka Oval Office. Wena o busy ka Twitter o bolela nonsense. Re ka officing ya EFF ya Tembisa o ka tsule re boletse ka wena ka gore a o selo o ta khwa o se selo because you talk about things you know nothing about. Fighters. President of Venezuela is still kidnapped in America by Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a criminal who went to abduct the president of Venezuela because he wanted to steal the oil of Venezuela. Today, children and women are being killed in Palestine. Today, he started a war in Iran, and Iran is shashering him. He doesn't know how to get out of that war. He started without a plan. We are with Iran. We are Iran. We stand with Iran. We don't stand with imperialism. We don't stand with America. We stand with the oppressed. We say to the people of Cuba, hang in there. America made you suffer for 67 years. You won't surrender now. Don't succumb to imperialism. Stand up to imperialism. Fidel Castro told us to stand up to America and not be afraid of America. Comrades, this continent shall be one. And when it becomes one, it shall become a powerhouse in the international politics because they are leading us because we are divided. Once we unite and we become one, America will be defeated. We say to Iran, don't stop until America pays your reparations into your account. Hit and hit hard. Make sure you destroy these evil forces that have caused us life in the history of humanity. Batsamaya, Batunya, Baboma Skolo, Sabana. How can you kill children and want us to be with you when you are killing children? We will never stand with anyone who kills children. Fighters, we are going back to our branches. I was very happy when it was drizzling. You did not run away. It is because you are confirming that there is no rain in the revolution. There is a revolution in the rain. So when we go to register the youth of South Africa, to register the people of South Africa, including those who are discouraged from voting, we are going to say to them, do not be discouraged. The future of South Africa is here. You must make sure that when we live here, we enter every school, every TVET, every university, every home, we are going to register. I ask these people of our leaders here to ask my son to come and speak, because it must not be only your children who do door to door, who go and register people, who go and campaign for EFF, whereas Julius Malema's children are in the comfort of their homes. They must go to the street. They must earn their presence in the EFF. I can tell you now, everybody in my family is EFF. It's not EFF because of me. They are EFF because of their blood. The blood is red. The blood will forever be red, and it will never change. No one can change your blood. Comrades, let's go and register, because without registering, it means we are voting with people who have been in the old voters' roll. Those political parties that benefited from the old voters' roll will never ask people to register. You are going to ask the people to register. We are marching. We are marching from Winnie Mandela House straight to victory. We are not looking back. No one is going to discourage us. We are going for victory under whatever circumstances. Whether there is rain, whether there is sun, whether it's cold, whether it's warm, we don't care. Our stop is door to door and register our young people on daily basis. All of us.